Hello YouTube, it is I, Vincent, back again with yet another guitar video. And today we are going to be talking about the most iconic guitar of all time, the grandfather of all electric guitars, the guitar that just refuses to die, and that is the Fender Stratocaster. Today we'll be talking about the history of the guitar, as well as why the guitar has remained a staple throughout all genres of rock, throughout decades and decades of music. And with all that being said, let's get started with the video. When Leo Fender unveiled the Stratocaster in 1954, it was immediately an icon. It absolutely revolutionized what the electric guitar could be. Had a contoured body, an easily replaceable neck, 3 pickups, a tremolo system, and it looked crazy. At the time, it looked super duper futuristic, and with how popular it is now, it is clear that that design has stood the test of time. It was futuristic, comfortable, and gave you distinct tones that you could not get in any guitar out there. This wasn't just another electric guitar, this was the electric guitar. This set the template of what an electric guitar could be. It's on album covers, it's in museums, it's in guitar shops, in the windows everywhere. When people think the electric guitar, the first thing that pops into their head is a Strat. When you click on the little emoji guitar symbol on your phone, what is it? It's not a Les Paul, it's a Strat. It's basically the Coca-Cola of guitars. It's basically synonymous with guitars, and I would go so far to say that it's a staple of American culture. One of the reasons that the Stratocaster has never really died is its unparalleled versatility and its ease to mod. The Stratocaster is basically the Honda Civic of guitars. You can change literally everything about it to make it exactly what you want. You can change the pickups, you can change the pick guard, you can change the trem system, the tuners. You could even go so far as to put in a baritone scale length neck if you want. The modability of the platform is a big part of what keeps the Strat fresh throughout decades of constantly evolving guitar technology. Even a lot of modern guitarists now are using very Strat and classic Fender shapes, like Misha Mansour, for example, who has his MJ Dinky. Guitar players just love a blank canvas that they can tweak and make their own. Your guitar is basically an extension of who you are as a guitar player. And there is no guitar that has more mod potential than the Stratocaster, and it's not even close. Whether you're playing blues, funk, country, surf, metal, indie, R&B, the Strat is there. You got Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, John Mayer, Yngwie Malmsteen. You even got Slipknot, who plays in Drop A using Fender Stratocasters and Telecasters. And the crazy thing is, in all of these genres, the Strat never looks out of place. Even for bands like Slipknot, who push metal to the extreme, both in terms of sound and aesthetics, the Strat looks totally normal there, doesn't look out of place at all. Another reason why I believe that the Stratocaster has maintained relevancy is that Fender has been very, very smart with what they have changed as well as what they have kept the same. They've updated their specs over the years, having different neck profiles, noiseless pickups, more modern trem systems, more lightweight woods, but they've never really ditched the core design of what makes a Fender a Fender. Contrast that with Gibson, who basically sticks to exact one-for-one replicas of their old 50s designs, even when there are very clear design flaws. Fender makes functional changes that improve the player experience without really sacrificing the core of what makes the guitar special. Any Fender player, where they're a young kid who just got their first Squier Strat, or they're an older dude who's been playing Fender for 20 or 30 years, they can pick up a modern or a vintage Strat and feel right at home. It's basically the guitar motto of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but they have enough innovation to keep it fresh and interesting. Another big reason why the Strat will never die is they have accessibility at virtually every single price point you can imagine. You can get a Squier Strat for under $200, you can get a made in Mexico or made in Indonesia Strat for probably like $500 to $1,000, or if you really wanted to go fancy and spend a lot of money, you can get yourself a made in American custom shop Strat. Any single person, whether you're a 12-year-old beginner or a 50-year-old veteran who's been playing forever, there's a Strat for you. And that accessibility keeps a constant influx of new players coming in, entire new generations who are learning how cool a Strat is. And another plus of Strats over something like a Les Paul, for example, is that Fender does not lock their nameplate behind an obscene price tag. Where you can find Epiphones that cost upwards of $1,000, you can find Fenders that cost about $600 to $800. And one could make the argument that, oh, it's just the name of the headstock, it doesn't really matter. But I guarantee you, 100% of the time, if you gave players the choice, they would absolutely pick the big fancy brand over the cheap little baby brand, and I think Fender recognizes that, and that's why they've made their brand plate more accessible. The next major point to why the Strat will never die is that Fender is very smart with their artist endorsements, and they're constantly evolving it to make sure that Fender remains within the cultural zeitgeist. I already mentioned it before how Fender has an absolutely ridiculously wide roster of artists across every single corner of every single genre you could possibly imagine, and that's intentional. Artist rosters are the lifeblood of what keep a brand alive, and without a good artist roster, then the brand dies, like a lot of the brands that I've talked about on this channel before. But there are so many people using Fenders in every single generation, whether it's young indie bands now, or established legacy acts, or even the countless YouTubers online that swear by them. If you are within the guitar sphere as a whole, there's probably somebody that you admire that plays a Strat, and that is by design. And the final point, this isn't anything objective, but the feel and the tone of a Strat is unlike any guitar. There's just something about how a Strat feels in your hands, how it contours against your body, the way that the tremolo feels, the way that the guitar sounds. It's not anything crazy or flashy or exciting. It's just comfortable and it just works. It's a very, very homey feeling that's very, very hard to put into words, but anybody who's owned a Strat understands what I'm talking about. There's a reason why the Stratocaster is the most commonly emulated guitar shape. And there's a reason why Super Strats will continue to dominate in the metal sphere. It just works. It's a shape that just works. Like I said before, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they nailed it perfectly the first time around. So while plenty of guitar brands rise and fall, I know that I've covered plenty of them on my channel, the Strat is the one gift that just keeps on giving. It's adaptable, it's affordable, it's iconic, it's customizable, and there are guitar heroes across every single generation that have used Strats. At this point, the Stratocaster has transcended a guitar shape and has become a cultural icon of sorts. So what do you think? Is the Stratocaster truly the greatest and most versatile guitar of all time? Or is it just another relic of the past that is only kept alive by tradition? Drop your thoughts down below, and don't forget to give me a like, comment, subscribe. Helps me out immensely. And with all that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.